The Newsday continues here on One News Now Business. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the biggest stories on the economic and corporate fronts. Finance Chief Ben Diokno expects the economy to perform, quote, much better in the second half of the year. Diokno believes growth in the second half will be faster despite the disappointing 4.3% growth in the second quarter. The Finance Secretary says that the fourth quarter is typically when most infrastructure projects are done. Socioeconomic Planning Secretary Arsenio Balisacan also believes that attaining the 6% growth is still very doable. Balisacan notes that the government is expediting its public spending by directing agencies to lay down their catch-up plans. However, the National Economic Development Authority expresses concerns over inflation as it is seen to impact economic growth, especially with the holidays coming up.
Christmas season is around the corner. That also generates a lot of extra push, and we are also seeing that the remittances have remained quite stable. So I think there are offsetting factors, but again, that's not to say that we are not too worried about the high inflation. On the contrary, we are very, very worried about inflation.
Meanwhile, analysts see the Bangko Sentral likely maintaining a hawkish stance for the rest of the year to support the economy. Global Source Partners economist Diwa Ginigundo says it does not see monetary policy shifting out of a pause. That's considering the latest 5.3% inflation figure and the BSP's elevated inflation forecast. The Monetary Board has kept the benchmark interest rate at a 16-year high of 6.25% since May 2022 to tame inflation. One employers group says the proposed legislated wage may hit micro, small, and medium enterprises the hardest. Under Senate Bill 2002, formal wage earners will get a 150 peso wage hike across the board. Employers Confederation of the Philippines Chairman Edgardo Lacson said that if this is approved, it could result to an additional 30% cost for employers. He also insisted that this may stoke inflation since producers will add the hikes to their prices. Lacson added that informal workers will suffer as well, since the resulting inflation will only make it harder for them to afford goods. Lacson also noted that MSMEs already face high failure rates due to increasing operational costs triggered by minimum wage hikes, and SB 2002 would only worsen this situation. With that, ECOP recommends allocating a larger budget to the Trade Department to support MSMEs. The country's dollar reserves fell to a 7-month low as of end September. Data from the Bangko Sentral shows gross international reserves stood at $98.69 billion as of end September. That's lower than the $99.57 billion logged in end August. This marks the lowest level since the $98.22 billion in February. The central bank says this is due to the national government's payment of foreign debt obligations. The BSP also attributed the dip in reserves to a drop in gold prices in the global market. Meanwhile, the Philippine government raised $1.26 billion from the first retail dollar bond offering under the Marcos administration. Diokno welcomed the upsize from the initial $1 billion target, especially considering market conditions. The dollar-denominated 5.5-year bonds fetched a coupon rate of 5.75% and were awarded at rates ranging from 5% to 5.75%. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. Okay. Hello?
Yes.
Hello, sir. This is Diego po.
Yes, Diego. Pasensya na. Phone patch lang ngayon.
Okay lang po. Pero mali. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. The 1 peso provisional fare hike for jeepneys took effect on Sunday. The minimum fare for traditional jeepneys are now at 13 pesos and 15 pesos for modern jeepneys. Piston said drivers do not need to secure a new fare matrix as the increase is just temporary. The group estimates that the increase will provide at least 200 pesos additional earnings for drivers. The LTFRB earlier approved the provisional hike amid high prices of petroleum products. Petitions to increase fares by 5 pesos are still set for deliberations. Still on transportation, a major rollback in fuel prices is expected to take effect this week. Some oil companies have announced that diesel prices will be slashed by up to 2 pesos and 50 centavos per liter. Gasoline prices are likewise expected to become cheaper by 3 pesos and 10 centavos per liter. This will be the third straight week of oil price rollbacks after 11 straight weeks of increases. These price adjustments will take effect tomorrow. Here to give us their take on the recent provisional fare hike, we have with us on the line Primo Murillo, convener of Commuters Group, the Passenger Forum. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Diego. And good morning to our viewers.
Yes, sir. A 1 peso provisional fare increase took effect already yesterday. Ano po ang reaction ng mga commuters dito?
Alam niyo po, consistent naman natin sinasabi na pagamat naiintindihan natin yung mga chopper at operator, malaking pahirap pa rin po talaga yung nagtitip pamasahe. Pero nung nag-hearing po sa LTFRB, talagang kumbaga malaki na rin po yung ibinaba ng kita, no? O minsan nalulugi yung ating mga chopper. Kaya naintindihan namin itong piso, lalo at provisional, lalo at ayaw natin na mabawasan yung mga bumabiyahing jeep, no? Nahihirapan na nga na sumakay yung ating mga kababayan. At syempre, mayroong commitment mula sa mga chopper at operator na kapag ka nag-56 to 57 na po yung diesel, ay sila mismo yung magpepetisyon na tanggalin na rin itong pisong provisional increase.
Yes, binanggit niyo, sir, na although provisional lang to and temporary, habang under deliberation pa ho ang 5 peso fare hike natin, proposal ng mga transport group. Pero anong tingin niyo po sa 5 pesos kung sakali pong matuloy ito?
Ito talaga yung hinaharang namin, ano? Dahil grabe yung bigat nito sa mga kababayan natin. Mabigat po talaga na pag 5 piso na po yung pinag-uusapan kasi on the average, 20 pesos to 30 pesos po yan sa mga nag-jeep dahil hindi lang naman isang sakay ang average, no? 4 to 6 po.
Yes.
Ang average ng mga manggagawa at estudyante sumasakay ng jeep.
Ano po level ng fare increase ang reasonable para po sa inyo considering na yung hinaing ng mga jeepney drivers na struggling na daw sila with even the 5 peso increase?
Alam niyo, nung nag-survey po kami, bagamat 71% ng mga pasahero ay ayaw sa increase, may another question kami na kung sakasakali na mahirap pigilan ng increase, hanggang magkano yung acceptable.
Okay.
ah, 43% po ang nagsabi na piso at 29% po ang nagsabi na dapat mas mababa pa sa piso. So 72% po ito pag pinagsama. Yung remaining 28% po payag na mas mataas pa sa piso.
Okay.
Oh.
Pero,
So,
opo,
sa
go
amin,
ahead.
yung 72% na pwedeng uubrang nasa piso, ito yung dahilan kung bakit pinayagan namin yung provisional increase. Bukod sa, hindi lang kasi cost yung problema po ng mga pasahero natin, no, ng mga mananakay, kundi yung supply.
Okay.
Kung makakaapekto sa supply yung hindi pagbigay ng piso, mas malaking problema po kasi nahihirapan na sumakay yung ating mga mananakay.
Correct po. Pero lahat po itong increase sa petitions sa mga fare hike, nagsimula po ito po dahil sa pagtaas ng presyo ng gasoline products. Pero these last 3 weeks, we've seen a rollback of prices sa fuel. Like tomorrow po, medyo mataas-taas po ang ibababa ng presyo. So ano pa ang tugon niyo po dito? Reasonable pa rin ba ang fare hike?
So sa amin, dapat hindi na natin pinag-uusapan yung 5 piso. No? Tapos pangalawa, once na umabot po ng 56 to 57 ang diesel, sana yung mga drivers and operators na nangako, nag-commit, ay ipetisyon na nga nila na tanggalin na yung provisional.
Okay.
At isa rin pong panawagan namin sa mga kumpanya ng langis, no, at sa gobyerno, pantayan, huwag gamitin. Itong gulo ngayon sa Gaza, no, is between Israel and Palestine, na para lalong taasan yung produktong petrolyo dahil malayo naman po ito doon sa usual na pinagkukuhanan natin ng petroleum products. Pero pwedeng gamitin nila ito.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your insights. Unfortunately po, that's all the time we have. Sir Primo Murillo, convener of Commuters Group, the Passenger Forum. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Maraming salamat po.
And those are the top business stories of the hour. I'm Diego Castro. Join us again at 2 p.m. We are One News. All sides, all the time.